Welcome to the Right Club Podcast, where the focus is on helping you, the real estate investor, advance to the next level. And now let's join this week's hosts and share ways for you to customize your life.
I really do like multifamily as an asset class in Edmonton specifically right now for two reasons. Number one, the rents are inflating, which means that we can dramatically shift the net operating income on a building if we find the right building that's under rented. And then number two, there aren't any rental raise restrictions. So if you find the right building with the right rents, the laws surrounding landlord and tenancy in Alberta make it very easy to raise the rents by as much as you need to, and or give notice to terminate month-to-month tenancies. If you can believe it, if you give the tenant a 90 days clear notice in Alberta, that's sufficient for ending a month-to-month tenancy. So if you find an older, well, it doesn't even need to be old, you just find a building, the majority of the tenants are on month-to-month, they're paying below market value. Within a year, it's very easy to have the rents raised on the people who are willing to pay market rent and or transition out tenants who aren't interested in paying market rent. Very, very powerful time for multifamily in Alberta, in Edmonton specifically. And that's why we're seeing a flood of capital come in from across the country, who are asking us almost every single day. Somebody's asking me, what's going on in multifamily in Edmonton? Because I think anybody paying attention to the macroeconomic picture sees that perfect intersection of increasing rents in an easy place to increase rents. So there's a really good net operating income versus cap rate play to add value to buildings right now in the Edmonton area.
Well, so that leads to the next question then. What's the competition like for these buildings? Because if there's a whole bunch of people looking at it saying, wow, these are great deals right now, there's only a limited number of buildings, right?
That's right.
We don't just snap our fingers and make them appear. What's it like out there right now?
It is competitive, but there are, to put it bluntly, a lot of wannabe investors, which are people that are trying to tie up buildings who don't actually have the capital available to close on the buildings. So the multifamily realtors actually do spend a lot of time vetting the buyers to make sure that if they're going to bring a deal to a buyer, there's a high probability of that deal going forward. Mainly because in multifamily and commercial, the due diligence, the condition period is a couple of months, whereas in single family, it's a couple of weeks. A lot can happen in the market in 2 months. So it's a huge risk for a seller to tie up a property for 2 months to only not have the deal come together. While it feels like there might be a lot of competition because a lot of people want a multifamily building, the pool of people that have the capacity to actually move forward on a short timeline is a lot smaller, which means if you're serious about multifamily, you need to organize yourself to be a serious buyer, which is someone who, you've got your partnership group lined up and ready to go, or you've got your own capital ready to deploy. You can put that deposit down. You're able to close quickly. You're able to do your due diligence in relatively short order. It's going to be a problem if you go around tying up buildings with next to no deposit with no real plan on removing those conditions. There's a very small amount of multifamily realtors in Edmonton. There's ourselves and about 4 to 6 other groups, depending on how you count it. And if you get a reputation amongst those 6 groups as being someone who can't close, then you're not going to see the deals as a top priority. The deals are going to go to other buyers first, and then you'll see kind of deals that have been picked over a little bit. I would highly, highly encourage those of you interested in taking advantage of the multifamily wave that's about to happen in Edmonton. Highly, highly encourage you all to be deal ready. Good deals in any market go quick, especially in a hotter market. And so being the kind of person who's deal ready makes you the kind of person who's actually going to get one of these really great deals this year.
Thanks for listening to the Right Club Podcast, where the focus is on helping all levels of real estate investors advance to the next level and help you customize your life. Be sure to tune in next week at rightclub.com/podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you get a few seconds, please rate the podcast wherever you're listening. It helps the show get noticed by others like you, and we truly appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe.